Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about adding serrations. If you like these, please like and subscribe. It helps grow the channel. What we're going to do today is add these triangular shaped serrations. This was a request by the customer to create shark's tooth serrations on a K-bar knife. The first thing I did was actually mark where we wanted the serrations on the blade. I used my template that I'd drawn out to do that. And this is really just a rough guide at this point in time. And then I used a test piece, and I used a file to just hack in something that looked reasonable. After I had that, I wanted to actually measure how big those were, and I'm actually going to use my new tool. One of my favorite tools in the shop lately is my new combination lathe mill. So what I'm going to do is use the mill to actually measure where the serrations are. What I'm doing is measuring the point to point, and then I'm going to simply make a little mark on the edge of the knife, going back and forth. So here we'll line up with one of the points. Then we'll slide over, measuring how far we're actually moving the travel on the mill to the next point. And then we're just going to simply repeat that over and over again. Once I've worked out exactly how far between the points, approximately 4.5 millimeters, I'm then going to actually clamp in my blade. I've used a little piece of metal as a backstop just to make sure everything's parallel, using one of the clamps. And I'll tighten everything down. Now that it's all tightened down and lined up, I'm going to make my first little mark. I'll flip on the mill, go in, and I'm just touching it. All I really want is about half of the 1/8 inch bit that I'm using. I'll go in, make a couple chips. I've now got a mark on the edge of the blade where I can actually start filing. I'll back that out, and then I'll actually go over the measurement that I took from the test piece. And then we go back in to make our second mark. Again, all I'm trying to do is just touch it in there just so I've got a spot to start my file in exactly the right spot. And then over to the next notch. And now I'm simply going to repeat this process for the duration or length of the serrations. This way I've got a nice even little set of marks where I can actually start the file guide. Once I've got them all in, we're going to take it out of the mill and take it over to the vise. Once I've got it clamped up in the vise, I'm going to use this little triangle file to create the shark's tooth serrations just by using the angles on the file itself. And it's just back and forth. It's hard to tell when I'm filing here, but really what I'm doing is mostly putting pressure on the push stroke, trying to lift up, save my files a little bit on the drawback stroke. We've got one tooth in, jump over to the next one. I did a lot of checking in here where I just go down and have a look, make sure things are going down straight the way we want to. Now we've got two, on to the third. And I skipped a couple just because I don't think you need to sit there watching me file. Continually going back, cleaning up, making sure they're all even. And now that they're done, I now have a set of shark's tooth serrations on the edge of the knife. A little bit more cleanup on the grinder after, and we end up with this. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more on the K-bar knife.